Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. To the new people, please, you're welcome. So today we're going to be making some fish stew. Yes, that is my fish. It is small, yes, but don't worry, as long as you get the steps right, you can use any size that you want. Now at this point, the first step is to prepare your vegetables. I'm going to be using carrots, 2 medium-sized carrots, and I'm going to be using some green pepper. I'm going to be using some red pepper and yellow pepper. I'm not going to use all of them, like the red and yellow pepper. I'm just going to use half of it. Now, when it comes to the carrots, I'll be cutting it into cubes. Like you first cut it into circles and then you cut it into cubes. Yes, because that's the desired shape that I want. You can use any other shape you want, though this looks much better in fish. Anyway, the choice is yours. While we are still cutting my vegetables, I please want to ask you to subscribe to my channel. It is the only way you can support me. It's the only way you can support me. It's the only way that doesn't cost money. Yes, please do support me. I will appreciate. Thank you so much for subscribing. The people who have subscribed already, the people who share my content with their friends, thank you so much. And my new people here, please do subscribe. Don't watch this video and not leave a subscribe. And then at this point also, don't forget that I post food videos, so you can go to my page and check for more content, food content. And by the way, I'm also on my socials. Anyway, enough about me. Let us talk about the fish that we are making. Now, after cutting the carrots into cubes, the next thing is to cut the yellow peppers and green peppers and red peppers. Yes, now I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to use only half, just like I'd said before, that I'm not using the entire pepper. I'm just using half because my fish is small, though if you had a bigger fish, you would use bigger portions. Yes, cut this as usual into small cubes also, so that it's easier to cook. Yes, that also. Then after cutting this, I'm also going to go ahead and grab my red pepper and also cut it into cubes. Yes, there you go. Same size, no fancy chopping, just the normal chopping at home. By the way, if you're watching this, please tell me where you're watching from. I told you I'm from Uganda, so you can tell me where you're watching from. I hope to see somebody who is not from Uganda. Anyway, so after putting all this into one bowl, don't worry, it's okay because you're putting in the oil at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and cut my onions too. I'm going to use the normal red onion. Yes, you can use a white onion if you have some, though this time I've chosen to use the red onions for this particular thing. I'm done, and now the next step is to grate my tomatoes. There you go, that's my one tomato. I'm going to get it and grate it. If you don't want to grate, you can go ahead and blend the tomatoes, or you can go and steam. You steam them, then you crush them, but this time I'm deciding to grate them. There you go. There goes my ingredients. Now the next step is to get your saucepan. I'm using a saucepan, stainless steel, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in some oil. And then after the oil is ready, I'm adding in my onions. Yes. By the way, where I come from, onions are very expensive. Jesus Christ. Onions are very expensive at this time. I hope when you're watching this video, maybe that side onions are cheaper that way. But anyway, the next step when the onions are ready is you're going to go in and add in your peppers. By the way, don't make the onions so ready so they don't get burnt. Then you add in your peppers. Then you keep stirring. Well, after adding like the peppers until they are ready. Now, when they're ready, like you're seeing, hey, my peppers are ready. Like I think you see how they look like now. You add in your carrots, the ones you cut, and then you go on. I've added my carrots. Yes. And then I'm going to go ahead and also stir. Normally, you also stir until they are until they are ready. It may take time, so you may cover a bit and wait for them to soften. And yeah, if you don't like soft vegetables, some people like their vegetables crunchy. You can also, how can I explain this? You can decide to make them not get ready as much as mine. Me, I don't like crunchy vegetables. I want mine to be ready for fish in particular. because I'm going to serve my fish with ugali. Ugali is posho, by the way. And then I go ahead and add in my tomatoes. Yes, tomatoes is the next step. And then you also keep stirring normally and wait for the tomatoes to be ready. When the tomatoes are ready, you go in with the seasoning. I'm seasoning with fish masala. Fish masala is like seasoning for fish. In case you don't have this in your country, you can look for any other fish spice. Me, I'm using fish masala. Now, after using fish masala, I'm going to stir a little bit before I add in my next spice. I'm using only a few spices this time. I'm only using this fish masala, and I'm also going to use this seasoning cube. This seasoning cube is Reiko, like Reiko cube. It's like a seasoning cube which is made of, it's like a beef seasoning cube. In case you don't have it, where are you? How can I say this? You can use any seasoning cube you have. In case you don't have, you can also just chill. You don't necessarily have to use it. And then you have to keep stirring also, and yeah. Now, at this point, it's like the next step. Be careful, add in your water. I don't have fish stock, but if you have fish stock, you can add it in at this time. Me, I don't have fish stock, so I'm going to use in water. First, add a little bit of water, you stir. You stir. I think you can see how thick it is, you stir. And then, after, seeing it is thick very well, you go ahead and add in another, batch of water. Up to the desired amount of soup you want. And then you stir for a little while, and then you first be stirring there, and then after this point you let it boil. Without anything. You're just letting this water and the vegetables, you just like you cover it, and then you bring it to a boil. Now I think you can see it has boiled. It's looking nice and all. It is at this point that you go in and add your fish, like the fish pieces, the ones I showed you. You go in and put in your fish. Put in your fish, and then you go on and add in all the pieces. By the way, there are 3 pieces. So, and then you add some fish, like some of this soup on top of the fish. Yeah. And by the way, don't forget, fish is really soft. Like, fish is soft meat. I'm using tilapia fish. It's like the most common type of fish I come from. Yes, it's boiling, and at this point I'm going to go ahead and season with some salt. Yes, season with some salt and cover and cook for like 10 minutes. No, not 10 minutes, 15. Yes, on low heat, very low heat. There you go. Thank you.